welcome to the cave. Nick here from Dexter Cave, bringing you guys a new video today. I kind of wanted to make this video for a very long time now. It's why I really just don't care for indie games. When everyone started talking about games like Celeste or like whatever, like I really don't pay attention to indie scene. The only reason why I watched the Nindies Direct, which was very disappointing by the way, was just for like Shovel Knight. Like, I wanted to see the King of Cards, but it wasn't there. Dude, they had garbage at that show. It was god-awful, but that's not the point of this video. Besides a select few indie games like Shovel Knight, Freedom Planet, a couple other ones too, I can't name them right now, but I do like some indie games, and I know why people love them, and, you know, I don't mind them. It's just I don't care for them. And I have a couple reasons on why I don't care for them, and I'm going to state them in this video. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate just because, oh, indie games are just so amazing, they're so creative, and, okay, so this is probably the main issue with indie games in my eyes, that the fact that every time, not saying every time, but most indie games use a generic, bland 8-bit art style, or 8-bit graphics. It just doesn't make sense, because like the whole nostalgia factor thing is old, and no one see the nostalgia era, which is what this past era was called, because everything was trying to like harken back to like the old days, and it was very annoying. Mario Odyssey, I'm glad they didn't have any like 8-bit Mario stuff in there, except for like okay, let me take that back, except for like the segments when you're 8-bit Mario. After that, it's just related to the nostalgia factor of the people who played Mario in the GameCube era and the N64 era, and I like that because like the whole 8-bit thing is very old. Like, okay, so I know what some people are going to say in the comment section, but Nick, Sonic Mania, that uses a 16-bit art style, but I actually have a counter to that for the people who's going to say that, so just stop typing on your keyboard. So, Sonic Mania, it's trying to be the original Sonic, like the original Sonic style, as in like the 16-bit Sonic games. It's trying to be like that. It's not doing that just for the nostalgia factor. They're doing that because that's the way they want the game to look, as in an old classic Sonic game. And you know, it paid off because everyone loves Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania, it's a fantastic game. But I'm talking about like Celeste. I'm not saying Celeste is a terrible game. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm sure it's an amazing game. I don't personally have any interest in it whatsoever, but if I ever have the chance to play it and I like it, I'll pick it up. But I have no interest or any care for Celeste just because of its generic art style. It's so boring to look at. It's like, okay, so my rule with graphics is, you know, if it doesn't look like it was made with a toaster, then I think I'm okay. But Celeste the graphics are terrible, and I know like graphics aren't everything, but they at least have to look good. Like 8-bit is, like as I said, 8-bit is so old now. We get it, 80s. Yeah, indie games are, in my opinion, have terrible graphics, and it just makes me not want to play them. Don't even get me started on Undertale. That game's overrated. But we're moving on. There's just so many of them. It's just like, okay, on the eShop, all it is indie games. It's like Nintendo's like, oh hey guys, we have 80 games in development for the Nintendo Switch all around, and most of them were indie games, unfortunately. I prefer, like, indie games are great for the fact that they fill in time spots of games that are close to release. Like, so let's say like Mario Odyssey is coming out soon, so we have indie games to fill in that's like little time gap between. So that's why indie games are great, but they're just everywhere. It's just like, and most of them are just 8-bit generic looking games that nobody wants to play. For anyone that wants to make an indie game, go for it. Do your thing. It's probably like, just try to be kind of creative with it and stuff like that. Just like I said, I don't have an issue with indie games at all. And, you know, if anyone thinks I do, then they're just wrong, and they didn't listen to anything in this video. I'm just saying, like, I personally don't care at all for indie games just because they look generic and boring. Like, I hate it when a game uses pixel art. The exception was Sonic Mania because, you know, like I said, it was its original style. And if Mario, like, if Nintendo made a game with Mario's original, like, okay, no, not the original 8-bit style, that would be terrible, but if they made a game using a 16-bit art style, that would be cool. Because, you know, it's just like, people look at pixelated stuff, like, it makes the charm of pixel graphics and just destroys it. The charm of pixel graphics are completely gone. It's like I said before, wow, cool, 80s, we get it. Now, like, more games use 8-bit styles than, like, actual 3D graphics, or, like, even, like, I love, like, games that have, like, hand-drawn, like, style, like, the backgrounds and the characters and the hand-drawn. That's awesome. I'm just saying, like, 8-bit is just really kind of, like, old, and it just ruins the charm of, like, old 8-bit games and 16-bit games and things like that because of the fact that, it's really, really overused. Like, I know I have a 16-bit icon picture, but, you know, that fits the whole video game theme of my channel. So, yeah, those are just my issues in my problems of indie games. But after that, you know, I enjoy a lot of indie games, not a whole bunch, but a decent selection of indie games I really like. Shovel Knight's one of the best games of platformers. It's one of the best platformers ever made. But after that, like, really just, indie games are nothing special, honestly. And, I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but it's just true. Indie games are, you know, they're kind of, starting to get old in my eyes, especially like I wouldn't say so much indie games, but it's art style. That's what gets me. Just its 8-bit style I don't like at all. So yeah, if you can't accept my opinion, I'm sorry, but that'll do it for today. I just wanted to make a video about that. I wanted to get it out for a long time. I'm glad it's out now. I won't talk about it much anymore unless it's brought up or something. But with that being said, before I get people too angry, I'm just gonna go. But with that being said, Nick Fixer Cave signing out. See you guys in the next one.